in this video, I'm gonna show you how SooWei Goh built a $3 million consulting business. Now, if you click on this video, you saw my thumbnail and you click on this video, of course you already know who SooWei Goh is. That's the reason why you click on this video. And in this whole entire video, I'm basically just gonna be breaking down his entire funnel on how he gets traffic, how he converts those traffic into his clients, and overall how his funnel architecture is structured around helping B2B businesses, well, specifically service provider businesses, to help with their personal brand, mainly on Instagram and YouTube. And SooWei Goh also helps them with their offer, their whole entire business offer. So this whole entire funnel breakdown, it's gonna consist of his top of the funnel, which mainly just consists of his YouTube videos, his YouTube channel, and his Instagram. The middle of the funnel, which consists of two of his websites, which is a free landing page and a VSL page. Then we also have the questionnaires in both of these pages, and then the booking appointments, and then the bottom of the funnel. If you watch his videos, which I of course assume you already have, otherwise you wouldn't have even clicked on this video. This is usually what his bottom of his YouTube video looks like, right? These are actually his clients where he will be sharing the one-on-one consultations, group calls, group webinars, IRL one-on-one consultation, IRL group calls. They would also be going on dinners and such, shit like that, right? To be fair, in this video, I'm mainly going to be focusing on the bottom and the top and the middle of the funnel. But just for the sake of this video, I'm going to be focusing on the whole entire thing. So let's get started. Of course, we're going to be focusing on the TOF, the top of the funnel, Instagram, and his YouTube. Let's focus on his Instagram. Guy has 115,000 followers. His highlights are it really mainly consists of clients' case studies. Even a lot of his stories are based on just client case studies, like boom, 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 boom. This guy Alex made this amount of money, John made this amount of money. These fucking screenshots of all this sort of shit, right? Other than that, the only person I can think of who's really a master at this is Nick Setting. When before I even carry on, right? Shit, I should have mentioned this earlier on at the start of this video. I really just want to mention that his top and middle of the funnel are actually very simple to understand, especially once you actually like map out the entire thing, which is exactly what I did in this video. You'll see that it's actually quite simple for you to understand and for you to replicate it in your own offer, in your own business, so that you can make a lot of more money by copying his framework, his funnel framework. But the thing that he really does well is mastering the basics. The one-on-one simple shit, like, have a simple and clean top of the funnel, only focusing on two social medias like Instagram and YouTube, and then having a simple VSL, having a simple CTA, stuff like this, right? And yeah, I just want to clarify that. And back to what I was talking about, his Instagram. Aside from his highlights and his posts, which are mainly client case studies, his posts would tend to be, carousels of his lifestyle pictures, just like these ones, which is lifestyle and business related. Because yeah, sure, this is like a nice aesthetic Pinterest style picture, but this is basically like his client meetups, one of his group sessions. And then other than that, in his carousels, he would also have like video clips. Same thing from a client group call, from his one of his live webinars about him having dinner with clients and all that stuff. So it's a nice blend between like business side of things and just lifestyle side of things. And then we have his reels, which are basically just clips from his YouTube channel. Just short up clips and literally the same edits, all from his YouTube channel, right? And then we got his YouTube channel in itself. This, I would say, even though he has 23,000 subscribers right now, I would say that his YouTube is where all the magic shit happens. I mean, I don't know about you, but that's how I found out about SooWei. It's by his YouTube. And I assume that since you're watching this video on YouTube, you've likely even discovered this guy on YouTube. And a lot of his content, majority of it, I mean, it's all about client breakdowns. Client breakdowns on helping them with their personal brand, helping them with the operation side of things, of their offer, of the pricing, of how to manage your, your hiring, how to manage your content, all these sort of things. And I would say around 30% of his videos are about his own frameworks. Videos like this on actually him showing his own strategies. I reprogram my own brain. That's him actually, sharing his own strategies. And then a small, sprinkle, 10% of his videos would just be lifestyle videos. Like this realistic day, blah blah blah, of just his lifestyle, which again, I would highly even assume that a lot of his lifestyle videos are gonna tie back to like clients' testimonials. He's gonna show just like his Instagram about how he shows his lifestyle, which is related to, group coaching calls, one-on-one coaching, one-on-one meetups with clients. That's how I see his lifestyle videos are gonna be. So all in all, it's all gonna be about business and his clients. His average length of his video is roughly around 15 to 50 minutes long. Right? 1 hour 30 minutes, 47 minutes, 40 minutes long, 20 minutes long. And this simply follows the whole idea of, what people say, right? It takes like 7 hours for an audience, a random stranger, to trust you and buy from you. And this is the next thing that I want to talk about is the map of his top of the funnel, TOF. Let's firstly talk about Instagram. You notice about what I said earlier? This guy has 115,000 followers on Instagram. But let's be real, not all of these followers are gonna be buyers, which is why I'm saying here that Instagram would attract an overall audience, but not necessarily qualified buyers. And the reason why I really want to mention this is because, sure, even though his YouTube has only 23 subscribers, 23,000 subscribers, but check this out. YouTube is his main top of the funnel channel for real buyers. So going back to the whole like 7 hour thingy, right? Even though the overall audience would discover him on his reels, his videos, right? His motivational videos or his aesthetic pictures, and then they were to follow him. But the all of the real the nurturing, the magic shit of turning your traffic, turning a person from an audience to a buyer, all comes down to his YouTube channel, to all of these videos talking about client breakdowns, talking about his own frameworks and giving out his own lifestyle, all happens in his YouTube channel. And one common thing that both his YouTube and his Instagram have is that they both have the freebie promoted in the bio of the page right here. Right, that this is the link to his freebie, and this is also the link to his freebie lead magnet. But I do want to say that in every description of every of his YouTube video, he would actually have a CTA link to his one-on-one VSL page, which is this. And this is when we actually would step into the middle of the funnel, right? Picture yourself as an audience. You've you discover him on YouTube, you watch one or two of his videos, and then you decide to actually check out his link. This is when you, as an audience, were to actually enter the middle of the funnel, which is just his VSL page. Quite simple, headline, CTA button to his calendar link, VSL video, which is like the main meat of the VSL page, of course, and then bunch and bunch and bunch of testimonials. Well, this one is more of a quick strategy breakdown. Then all of this are all client testimonials. And also, when you were to actually try to book a call with the team to get on board as a client, this is the VSL page application form. And then this is all the questions, right? All necessary questions for them to qualify you if you're actually, capable of being his client. And if you fit his ICP, of course, you're gonna get through. Then that's when you manage to get on a that discovery call with them. But what happens if those leads who land on the landing page, but let's say they don't hit the criteria of whatever investment that you need to make for them to be able to work with you? It means that you're unqualified. Now what happens to those who are unqualified to buy? YouTube is for nurturing, but then what happens to those nurture audience who aren't qualified yet? Well, you'd actually land on two places. Let's focus on the Instagram, because you see how in every description of this video, he would have this, right? CTA to his Instagram to say that you can DM me if you have any questions as such. So people who would wanna, engage with him, ask him actually more, actually get to, talk to him on Instagram is, well, to land on his Instagram page to follow him. But aside from actually messaging him, what else you're actually gonna see is his content in itself. About what I said in the beginning. You're gonna be seeing a whole plethora of his clients, case studies, and all that to nurture you even more. And then so, aside from all of those like client stuff that you see, right? Followers, once you actually, actually engage with him on Instagram, you would be exposed by his client case studies even in his stories, which are his highlights, but you would actually be seeing it in real time. Because I want you to understand that there is sort of like a psychological effect when people were to see a story compared to when people were to see an highlight. A highlight that could be any time. But if let's say you see a story that he posted 1 hour ago of this, $12,000, boom, screenshots, blah blah blah, three sales with dream clients and all this. It's like you would be way more nurtured, right? Him saying a name like someone from his community on Discord, as such, right? And then other than that, other than all of these case studies and all, you would also be marinated in his lifestyle. Lifestyle as in his posts, his reels, yeah, his lifestyle about normal stuff, and then also posts with him meeting up with clients, the webinars. He in his reels he would also be posting shit like motivational videos like flying, surprising my family for Christmas, or talking about his backstory and how he made it. And so once people follow him on Instagram, you actually get used to seeing his stories, seeing his posts. And once you are nurtured, this is when the funnel goes down into. Is this URL link in his bio, which is just a freebie, which is just right here, the middle of the funnel, the free lead magnet of the free of the funnel. Because going back to his YouTube, right? Back when people aren't qualified yet, just like his Instagram, the bio link from his YouTube channel, which is the one that you see right here, also leads down straight to the free lead magnet page. Now this is what I want to cover on next, the middle of the funnel of the free lead magnet, which is essentially a business personality roadmap for B2B service-based businesses to 2x their business under 30 days just for free, right? It's a free lead magnet. Although I do want to say that an alternative for you to, let's say you want to apply the same thing as your lead magnet as part of your funnel for you to nurture more people and so that they have a better chance to actually convert and to close them on a sales call, is that instead of doing a roadmap freebie, what you can do is run a free audit tool. And this basically gives feedback to your prospect on what bottlenecks do they have in their business. That really depends on your offer, right? If let's say you run an offer on helping people with their landing page or their SEO, then that's when you can actually, create a free audit tool to critique and give feedback on their landing page, on their SEO. If let's say you're a paid ads agency, this is when you can actually have a free audit to critique and give feedback on their ads, on how they run their meta ads. So this free audit tool really depends on your offer. And the purpose of this free audit tool is to see how they can improve their business, but more importantly, it also opens a problem gap that needs to be filled. Because think about it, you provide a free tool that helps to audit their bottlenecks of their businesses, things that some of them may not even see, and shit that some of them may not even realize. They don't even know that this is a problem. And once you do that, you give them ways on how they can improve their business. But mainly, the whole intention of this is to widen the problem gap so that your offer will be the solution to the problem that they have that comes from that free audit tool. So it's like kind of like a way that you're kind of giving them a tool, but at the same time, that tool is like kind of opens their mind to see that, hey, this is a problem that you have, and once the problem gap is so wide that it needs to be filled, now it just makes sense that the offer that you're laying there, you are laying upon their eyes is the decision that makes the most amount of sense. So that's just like some alternative that you can do instead of just a freebie that you can do. Freebies are fine, right? I'm no like stuff like roadmaps, like I assume his free lead magnet is just like a Notion documentation. It's fine, but that's just like an alternative that you can do. So now, carrying on with his free lead magnet, it's this one type page is very, very fucking simple. Headline, a tangible way to like see what the product is, and then the sign application, then some footer. The questions that you see when you actually were to like sign this up is like very simple, right? Like just the typical question on where are you in your business, how much money are you making, what's your bit of bottleneck, how much money are you making? Basically questions to like qualify people, right? I mean, no, to let them qualify themselves so that it's easier for you to sell. I do want to put an input here, also just like a critique that in one part of the question, they will ask you to fill in your IG handle. The problem with this is, sure, it is like a mandatory, like they have an asterisk, right? Which is, it shows that it's mandatory for you to fill up this form. But then the issue is that you can input whatever you want. This is this shit doesn't even make sense. It's not even a handle, right? And so the problem with this is prospects who would sign up this form may not follow the IG handle typical format of like add your whole entire whatever ad of your IG handle is, right? And then people would have the tendency to misspell the handle. Because you know how like some motherfuckers who have like some fucking complex words, they go like easily misspell one word, miss out one word. A way to actually improve this and like to not ruin your conversion is to change it to your URL IG profile instead. Because number one, this reduces conversion rate in a way that it's way less likely for prospects to fuck up filling up the right information. And secondly, it's way more easier for their own team to look into it. Because imagine this, you have like hundreds of people who would fill up this form and they would manually input their IG handle. If you were to want to look at it in your CRM, you would have to open Instagram manually, and then you would have to like copy the ad of the Instagram account and then paste it. And then you have to do that for like every single prospect. Think about how much time and such a tedious process it would take. Whereas let's say if this is a IG URL handle instead, you just click the fucking link. You click the fucking link, move on to the next, you click the link, then halas. Makes your life way easier. So that's just like one feedback I wanna have. Then okay, carrying on with the free lead magnet still, the next question is, this is when they would, filter the unqualified leads. So interesting thing is, whoever is making less than 100K ARR, which is like around like 8K per month, you would be prompted to a different page than those who actually are qualified. Which, well, in order for you to be qualified, you basically just gotta make like around 100 to 300K in ARR. But let's talk about those who aren't qualified and what happens to them. You'd basically be prompted to a page, like sort of like a blank canvas that basically says like, thank you, you're not qualified, but at the same time you would be receiving a free resources in your email. And this resource that we're talking about is basically just some free content to nurture those unqualified leads again. This is just to keep those, unqualified leads who are warm prospects. They are interested in what you've got to offer, but they're just unqualified. This is just a way to keep them in the loop. And so that once they actually apply his free strategy in the resource, they make money from it. And once they make money from it, then this is when they're actually qualified to work with him. And in case if you're wondering what the free resource is just a playlist of a YouTube video. By the way, in case we are wondering, once people actually get so deep into the funnel, because at this point like prospects would actually be getting quite deep in the middle of the funnel, you can kind of get away with creating simple videos. Videos like this he's making his playlist. It's just a loom recording of him, and it's just him sharing a Google Slide document. Whereas you see at the top of the funnel, his YouTube videos, even his Instagram videos, like videos, all of his videos like this are edited quite well. We got captions, we got background music, we got some B-rolls at the start of the intro, because that's just how funnels are designed. And then let's move on to what happens when you're qualified. Your next steps to those prospects who are qualified is a member from his team would actually give you a quick phone call to access to the resource, which I assume is just gonna be them actually giving some some resource in the call and them actually closing them on the phone call itself. And this is what you call a opt-in funnel. An opt-in funnel basically happens when you land on the landing page, you fill in the form, your name, your email, your phone number, and once they get your phone number, this is when you would have someone called a dialer, this motherfucker on a phone call, who would call you and try to close you on a phone call. Now, you might be wondering, why not just get them on a booking appointment straight away, right? To close them there. I'll give you some couple of reasons. Number one, when they actually landed on this page and a dialer were to actually call them right after they sign up the form, maybe like 1 hour or 30 minutes right after this, it's still quite fresh in their memory that they are still in his funnel. So for the dialers to actually close them on a call would be easier because it's still very fresh in the mind. And secondly, overall, I feel like it's literally just like way easier for them to like close prospects on a phone call if they can, instead of getting people, like instead of having someone to schedule a call, which is gonna take time, drop off rates are gonna be higher. When you actually call them, like you are coming to them, you are literally coming to a hot lead. Pause. So now this is the middle of the funnel. Now, then this brings us to the bottom of the funnel, which is like, what essentially what happens once you actually get on a once they manage to close you on his discovery call or on the phone call. Before I carry on, I just want to say that I don't exactly know how his bottom of the funnel looks like, because to be fair, this whole entire video is mainly me just wanting to cover his top of the funnel and middle of the funnel, as these are the two areas where I mainly specialize in. But for the sake of this video, we're just gonna end it at the bottom of the funnel. What essentially happens is he would basically help them to scale on their business, and once his clients scale, now they're gonna have a new problem, which is how to sustain it. So even his BOF have its own funnel in itself. Once you actually close, this is the main product, this is the main offer that you're actually getting, right? The one-on-one consultation. Alongside that, you will also be having some group calls. Now, I don't know if this is done weekly, bi-weekly, daily, I don't know. If you are a client that managed to scale really, really fucking hard, he would basically get you on in real life one-on-one consultation for more of the serious clients, right, who manage to like scale really high up. Which, to be fair, in a lot of his videos where he makes like this type of a one-on-one consultation videos with his clients, breaking down the whole entire funnel, consulting them with their own business live, are his outlier type of clients. And other than this, other than the one-on-one consultation, you would also have like in real life webinars, in real life like group calls. So then with that being said, yeah, this is basically SooWei's fuck SooWei Goh's SooWei Goh. I'm butchering his name. I'm fucking sorry. This is basically his whole entire funnel from top, middle to bottom. but mainly just focusing on, yeah, the middle and the top and the middle of the funnel. Fuck. And so to be fair, this is just me breaking down SooWei Goh's funnel. But however, if you want me to audit your funnel, give you some consultation and help you out with any bottlenecks when it comes to conversion in your funnel, let's say you have leads who are not converting into paying customers when they should be, then right under the description of this video you can check out my VSL link.